Hello and welcome to the next episode of this art series, which is all about this Lego room and of course my life. Now we've got quite a bit to sort out within this upload, but fingers crossed it should go smoothly enough and it will create some space within here, because in the previous upload we actually managed to get all of these bits in, which is now all ready for base plates and tiling up to obviously a certain point. So we've got the shadow box in, the Joker man is in, we have got the alleyway in and everything else. So what I'm doing at the moment is upload by upload is literally going from corner to corner to corner to corner, getting it all ready for the base plates and tiles to go down so we can start to create the theme park paths, which is what we've already done in the Hoth display up there, and I've started to do in the Clone Wars display down there. And if you are wondering, yes, I have almost built the head now for the AT-AT, and it is time to plonk that on, so that'll be happening in a separate upload. So we are now going to be trying to create a little bit of space over here. I do in this upload need to move all of the Ninjago bits and pieces. They're going to go across the back wall, and like I've already said, I need to put another unit just in here, so then it will be ready for the tiling and the base plates and I don't have to worry about it. So that is the plan of attack for today. So ideally by the end of this upload, this table has disappeared, and for the first time in 2025 I don't have to crawl underneath the table. So with that being said, let's get to it. Right, so the first thing that we are going to do is fill this space in the corner. Now, as per normal, I was a little bit of an idiot in the previous upload because we did all of these bits and pieces, and for the life of me, I couldn't think what else to put in front of this with regards to sets that I've already got. I was saying, oh, well, when we put the base plates down in one colour or we do this, I just don't know if we had it as a diorama space, blah, 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 blah. And I completely forgot I've got the Stranger Things set, and obviously they play D&D in the Stranger Things TV show, so that can go in this corner, and then we can get the Dungeons and Dragons minifigures out finally when all the base plates and tiling goes down. So you might be thinking that these tiles have taken forever to turn up, but I am actually doing multiple uploads through, I'm filming multiple stuff throughout the week, so they are quite close together. So Lego haven't taken weeks and weeks to get these tiles delivered to me. It should only be 9 days, but I'm on a bit of a roll with the uploads because I want to get this as neat and as tidy as possible. Now, as per normal, you are on the Avengers Tower, and I have absolutely no idea what you can see. So you can see something, so you can see the instruction booklet. That will do for me. So that is where that is going to go, and then we will start on this corner just here, which I hope it should just go in, but it is a little bit bigger than a base plate, so it is a bit of an awkward shape, this one, and this isn't in the nicest of places, if I'm being brutally honest, because if I actually spin you around, you can see it's actually just there, which means I've got, again, stand over the loft hatch, we've got to move the He-Man. Jason's cabin needs to move. That can go up there. And then we're away. So I like the blue, to be honest. I think we'll keep the blue side up and the green side down. And we will see what we can go. So the issue that I'm going to have now is it is a big thing. It's filthy. Look at the state of that. That is disgusting. I'll have the toothbrush treatment before the base plates and stuff go down, because that's what I'm doing now. Everything I want to be fixed and just get it in. And in case you're wondering, yes, the head for the AT-AT, like I said, is built. And I'm looking forward to putting that on in a separate upload, and it is just that bit down there. So I am trying to do these videos while building bits and pieces at the same time. Now, ideally, this thing just here goes side on and it fits. It doesn't. So if that goes in front of it like so, you can't see anything. It is a cool set. That has to stay as it is. I could bring the house forward and have the front of the table Harry Potter and the back of the table sort of D&D / Stranger Things, but I don't know if that'll give us any more I don't know if I could angle that one across the back anymore, because I did say in the last upload what we can do is we can actually create the path either side, but if that was at the back, the path can just go straight underneath. So we are going to have to have a bit of a rearrange, I think, because that definitely is not going to work, which is a little bit of, well, it is going to work, but it's just not going to work as simply as I would like it to. But then of course, well, let's be honest, it never is. So this can be picked up, and again, for the first time now with all of these bigger buildings and all of the Harry Potter stuff and everything else, we can actually get all the minifigures out and do different bits and pieces with them. So I know this is on a bit of a brutal angle. And this came out and we pulled this forwards, and we pulled this forwards, shut the back, shut its back side up, because right, so that is not huge, obviously in the way, but it's not a massive thing. So if we were to angle, oh, knew I was going to knock those over. They're all the minifigures for the shadow box that I haven't yet put back, because it all needs to come back out for it to be tiled, doesn't it? So if that then came all the way out, can we get Stranger Things at the back? Will that go? Oh, I don't know. Oh. Try and get the feet tucked behind. Can it go against there? It can. So that's a much bigger set. We've got the path now that can go straight underneath. I think I'm going to have a problem with any of them, to be fair. What is the best bit for this? They're both four big sets. That wasn't angled that way, was it? Was it angled that way? It was angled that way. Yes, because we saw the front door. Okay, hang on. Right, so if this was angled round, and that spins round on itself and got pushed back, we can now see the front door of that, which looks great, and then we have all the walkway and everything through. So there's plenty of space on there. Now, depending how close we want to get that to that, as long as it will go over, will depend on the angle of this Harry Potter Burrows. But we've got this lovely space in the middle for loads of minifigures and things like that. And I can see everything. Obviously this thing casts a bit of a shadow over, but it is what it is. If I wanted to push this back, I could potentially move it over, but I think as long as I can get the pig trough at the front, which it fits, and this thing goes onto the sides with these two, which it does perfectly. Maybe this does go over only a little bit like that, which will then allow that to go back so it's on the table. Yeah. So we've got the front door of that one, front door of that one, we've got both doors on that one, and then we'll have this open area here. I think it'll look better like that, because if it starts to turn on itself, obviously you get the side of the building, but it covers, it doesn't actually cover that much more, to be honest. I don't know. Is it better? Is it better side on? Like that. Or do we want it turned and angled like all of the others? And we have it facing forwards like that. Gives us more table space, doesn't it, like that? So we will do that. We'll bring this forward. We'll think about it, because it's going to be a little while yet until I get back to this section to do all the base plates and tiles, because there's going to be clumps of Star Wars stuff coming in between all of this. So like I said, this is just me trying to make space for bits and pieces, because I need to get underneath that table to actually clear the bits and pieces. And then what I'm going to end up doing is, when this is neat and tidy, this side's all neat and tidy, it will just be a case of wait maybe 2 weeks obviously for the tiles to turn up, and in that meantime I can actually get on with the Ninjago stuff, which I am very, very much looking forward to. So we know that all the minifigures, I think, are, well, they're here. They're all around this bit, so they're all around the house and things like that. So that is fine. So they can all basically chill out and do whatever it is that they wanted it to do. But that's four big sets and an alleyway on the table, so it's not too bad. And obviously each one of these are all really unusual shapes, so your whole 32 by 32 grid patterns and things, it just doesn't work with anything like this. But when all the base plates go down, I think it might look quite nice. Just have to figure out in my own time what colour goes on what, because that will go on a blue base plate, that will go on a green base plate, that will go on some blue, and I'm assuming the Stranger Things are going a really unusual colour, because they're technically in the upside down, aren't they? So they're, yeah. So we'll have that like that. It's a good looking set, that Stranger Things, and it's got all the minifigures are fantastic with it. And we have got the vehicles as well, so I can't forget those. So we've got the Ford Angular, which is this thing just here with Potter, and we also have the truck. Let's just put you there and just hope for the best. So we've got the vehicle as well. So again, I mean, it's what that bit there is wide enough for this car. So I could have wanted to split the path around the 4x4 truck. So it's just a good photo opportunity. I might just tuck it back against the tree, and the path just comes in front of it, which works well for the Hawkins police. Obviously Indiana Jones will get rehomed, because he is, well, he's invading all that kind of stuff at the moment. But when we get the owl in and we get all the other minifigures in, that space will get soon taken up. And there is another creature down at the back. I keep forgetting about this, but we have got a dragon. Now I could potentially put the dragon on the Stranger Things roof, which would make things a little bit interesting. So that is actually now going to be our first thing. So I've got nowhere to put you. Get that out of the way. Absolute carnage. Absolute carnage. Right, so dragon. First thing that's coming off this table, which is fantastic. And it's caught. There we go. So the wingspan of this thing is bigger than the Harry Potter. So the Harry Potter is obviously it's a nice thing. You're going back down there, but yeah, it's just doesn't like to sit on anything, and the jaw keeps falling off as well. So if anybody else has that problem, let me know, because that's the only weakness of this thing. The jaw falls off, and he falls down all the time. So now I can't get the jaw back on. I don't know if my pink thing's got too much of a bigger hole on it or what, but all the claws and everything work fine. But it is so I was about to say, it's so refreshing to start being able to display stuff. Just pinged off his claw now. Right, claw head. Because I've angled it, I did say I was going to angle it, so the tail, perfect. There we go, that'll do. The tail actually is so long that it needs a little bit of space. So that's actually wrapped round, and it's just been thrown up on there. Is that jaw? Is it? Oh. Yeah, that looks does look quite effective up there. I'm not gonna lie. I'll tilt his head back. Yeah, I don't know why it just doesn't like to stay. And he doesn't hold his own head either. So his head falls down a bit. But I'm sure I've done something wrong, but I'll figure it out. But the rest of the detail on it, like the body and things, it's fantastic. I could try and get him raised up ever so slightly, but I think with all the other characters and all that kind of thing in there, that's more than enough on there. I can visualise all of the bits straight away. That will be repaired because that all got damaged when I moved it. So I'll just do that off camera because I've got far too much to repair. This will go with the Avengers Tower down there. Right, I can see a bit of table, which is good. Not as much as I'd like to see, but I can see a little bit of table. So that, I think, works. Yeah, I think it works. I'll mess around with the house a little bit, but yeah, green right at the edge with the car. Yeah. So we've got what, wizards, witches, and Stranger Things. Not too bad as a trio. Right. So next thing we need to move is we are now moving on to Project Ninjago. So this is a theme that's very, very close to my heart. It's a fantastic theme, and I feel a little bit silly that I neglected it for so long after falling through the table all that time ago. So we need to get all those sets off. There's only 3 to put in, and then we just need to figure out exactly what we're doing. So all going well, this should just go on no problem. Now, I was working this out in the previous upload with the amount of base plate space that we need, and we were going to have one at an angle, but obviously we don't know the size of the new one that is rumoured to be coming out sort of sooner rather than later. Now, these clear tubs, I will put somewhere, because they obviously have the pieces in for the Ninjago stuff, and I do need to keep these close. That's Ninjago, that's Ninjago, that... Yeah, I don't know what's actually... That one isn't. I don't know where the third tub is. So they've been mixed up, and I've got a bad feeling it's going to be close to this Winter Village display over here. So I will worry about the bricks and pieces later, but I just want to get these bits in. As I said, I was going to throw these there because it was going to annoy me, but now I actually need the space on the table to carry on doing what I'm doing. So I want to see basically on this side just how much table space we actually have, and then we can just sort of mess around and see what we can do as we go. Now, with regards to these boxes, the top one's obviously got that on it as well. If I can just take this out the way. So this has stuff. So that is a stuff box. So that's just gone underneath the table out of the way. And these two are Ninjago and Ninjago, which I will, yeah, I'll put down here for now. And I want to find the third one, because we're getting through them nicely. It's just I want these finished, because that's got the instruction booklets in for Bounty, City and t'other one. So we are going to have to play tag with some of the bits and pieces. So those bikes are for the shadow box. I will throw the minifigures by the shadow box as well in a bit, so they're all together. Right, we'll start at the far end, and then I should just be able to get the He-Man castle on in the corner. So yes, as per normal, I'm stood over the loft hatch, and we will figure out, oh dear, in the next few uploads, what, oh, give up with that, what's going to be happening with this space. Now, this one here has been a nightmare with regards to the time it's taking to put it together, but we are getting somewhere now. I've got the rest of it to build is actually bagged, all apart from the middle bit. So the middle bit is somewhere in those bits, so we can pull that out and obviously have a bit of a play with it. City. The City, well, they all got absolutely crushed, basically. So if you've not seen or wondered what has happened to all of this, it didn't go well. That's all we need to know. It did not go well. If I actually push these back, what it will allow me to do is it will allow me to have the water at the front. Now, I will put some blank base plates down so we can count, and we can just see exactly what is what. But the other thing that I was getting a little bit concerned of is the height of things. Now this one we said was actually going to go here. It was it's a base plate and a half, and we were going to put this one in the corner, and this was going to be the divide. So this is something else that I need to think about when it comes to the tiling. If I can L shape, so I don't know if I can get another, because these are all the base plates ready to use for this area. So if I got one more base plate, I could put something there. So I could have the City and the docks back to back. Obviously the docks is facing with the dock bit, because I prefer it that way. I know it's dark, I'm sorry if I stood in front of the lights, but yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. So we'll get the other base plates down just to visually count how much more space we have. Not that we really, to be honest, need to now. I think actually I can get away with it. So if I spun another light round, would that actually help? Oh, come on. I don't know. If that makes it any brighter, better, worse for shadowing, I have no idea. So think we've got choices with regards to how we put them together. So we could have the two tall ones together and we can basically have it back to back. We could then have another little gap and then we can have obviously the long ones together. The city, no matter how it works, the city would be backwards if it went in the far corner. And then base plate space wise, actually we better count it. I will count it because I need to make sure we do have enough, because it could get very emotional very quickly. But again, this is just a case of just my basic template, getting everything prepared for the bits and pieces. The He-Man castle is rather cool, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. So we can have nice different bits. Because that was another option. The He-Man castle went by the D&D, but I've got a different idea for that. So I just put the blue ones down so you can see it against the white a little bit easier. And that'll be 1. That's 2, 3, 4. So we have got a double base plate for the one that I don't have. So I did mess it up and count it wrong then. Standard. Which is so we can get 5 across the top and you can actually get 6. And it wouldn't be overhanging on that side, because I'll just bring it over on this bit. So we can have them in a straight line then. Because I counted you would need, because obviously there's a base plate and a half with this one, but we have half a base plate at the front. So that won't be a problem. So that was never, I was just counting it as a base plate and a half, but it's a base plate and a half, and a base plate and a half is 3. That's 4. New one 5, 6. So yeah, the other one leaves 7, 8. And yeah, and then we got the corner. And we got that. So if I'm gonna have to figure out where this one is going to start, but yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's all of those. That's 6. So it depends on how big the next one is. If the next one is only a base plate, it will go in a straight line. If it's a base plate and a half, we'll have to put it on the corner. So that's 8.5 base plates we've got as that L shape at the moment. But if I took that out, that's what would be left with. And it's just amazing that when these are finished, just how tall these things are, even though they look quite small next to the Joker Manor, but they are rather large. So we took those two away. Obviously this isn't the order that they're going to be in, but it's just, it will do for now scenario. I've just got to figure out how I want them. So you can see they're all about 75% complete. Because every single one of them got smashed. Now this one doesn't work with this one. It's not meant to anyway. But what little visual space do we have? If all of these just got pushed over. So we have got well, that is fluke, to be honest. So it will go as a straight line. Obviously, I would have to be clever with how I did it, because the smaller one would have to go underneath. But that's where it would start and finish. So I don't have to worry about the shutter box. It's end of one land, start of the next. I'll put one there actually and just see what it is actually like. We'll bring this one back over just to see, because obviously it can come in by potentially half a base plate. So it all depends on what the new one is like. So I am being stupid as normal. So I've got them both caught on top of each other. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I thought that was going to be horrendous, but it's not. It doesn't block. It doesn't block off as much as what I thought it was going to. I know it's dark because of this thing, but just remember we're going to have water paths and all that kind of thing there. But that, it has got quite a bit of room underneath, and it goes straight into the Batman. So it's just zone to zone to zone, which is, to be honest, a much better result than what I thought it was. What I thought it was going to be. Oh dear, that's Pumpkin. One of the cats. Come on, Pumpkin. You come in. What are you doing? Right. So that would go technically it is the wrong side for it to be paired up, but I've always said this is better with this one facing forward than it is at the back, because what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to be a continuous walkway, and if this was spun round it would be a continuous walkway. But I don't like it the other way around as much, because it's plain, I think, because you've got all the stairs and all that kind of thing. So that those two would go as a pair, and then I guess what I would do is, because that is technically the wrong way around, but this doesn't actually fit with the other one either, we would then have the next one coming off it, which is the double base plate. Then it'd be potentially that one and the new one in the far corner, or vice versa. It could come the other way potentially. Because if it came the other way and it would fit in that corner, I could have these paths. Ooh, I could have. Maybe start at the far end then. Maybe we start at the far end. And we just, yeah, okay, I can visually see that now. So we know that this fits, but what we could do is, I think, if that went, yes it does, it does, okay. So if I spun that in on itself, it would go. It doesn't have to be miles away to start with. It's just, yeah. So this bit now, look, with this amazing bridge and the little bit coming through, which actually the side I prefer anyway. This bit should now connect to those steps, potentially. I could be talking absolute nonsense. There is a couple of different configurations you can do with this, but I think this is the better way. So yeah, so there you go. That's the better way of doing it, because you've got the steps. It's close, but yeah, you can have the steps going basically behind it on this one. So over the top, it does marry up and meet up. So then we'll just do the same thing for the next one. And then go from there. So yes, okay, that works for me. So I will leave that like that with the space in between, knowing that it's coming. Just happens to be it's past the artwork. Or is it? It's actually, what's that blocking? Yeah, it's blocking a little bit, but all of us will see what the new one does. And it's all going to come down to what goes into that corner. But for now, that will do. I can just reach them, grab them, repair them, and basically crack on. I know what will happen. In fact, I'm going to do that right now while I'm thinking about it. I've got a order due. It's quite a big box, and I reckon it's going to have to go just here. So we've seen it on camera. We've got a good layout. So this now can just go at the tail end with these. I want to actually see if this will fit with the roof height, which, well, it will. Well, it might. It'll be close. Right, so that will do for now. That'll be thrown. That's thrown in. I want to see. Yes, I do want to see that. So we'll put that way, which works. It'll do the trick, yes, because I think I'm going to have a box that can now just go here, because I have a delivery due and I haven't got time to clear the floor space. So I'm happy with that. That's operation 2 ticked. So Ninjago will fit as a long line, which is fantastic. That looks good. Obviously, it'll look better when all the base plates down. So that is good. So the fact that we're making some sort of progress is great. And now I actually have somewhere else I can put you at a half decent height, which is great, rather than you being really, really high up on there. Now we can get most of this table, hopefully, clear. I really would like that. I want the Disney Castle by the Loop Coaster, and I think I can get Lord of the Rings on this table. I just need to get everything else as close together as possible. Yeah, I think it will, because if I just make use of the space that I've got by pushing everything in. I know it's all got to come back out again, but I need that table, and we're not doing this side just yet, so we can we can do that. That is in, which is great. That is there. That is that bit. That is that bit. That's just done that, which is not what I had planned to do, but Snow White is there. Right, there are all the He-Man characters anyway. So yes, we've got a good bit of table space now. So I've just moved all of that over and you didn't see a single thing because I forgot to actually spin you around. I was just too happy that you actually had somewhere that you could sit again. Right, you can stay there. You can stay there. I will definitely be falling down those loft ladders sooner rather than later, I'm sure. Right. So I've really got to get my thinking cap on with regards to what sets I am grouping with what over this table and on the other side. Because we've done quite well with theming, so obviously we've got Ninjago going into the mystical type bit, which works great. But I don't know, do we go full water themed Lord of the Rings-esque display? Do we have it just as like what we've done with the Harry Potter mixed in with the other bit, and it will sort of all come together when the tiles and things go down? To be fair, might be the better option, I think. Yeah, we've got bits and pieces on the bugger. We've got bits and pieces on the floor as well. I think those bits that are on the floor, they can go on the table. So we have got a ship that is either going to be used as spare parts, sold, or I just don't think I can display it, which is a little bit of a shame. But if I get the Harry Potter, if I get the Disney castle out of the way, these bits and pieces can go on that table, and then this can actually come up for the first time. So I need to move these again, because of course they're in the way. You guys can go and have a look at the new minifigures from that little Ahsoka set, which look great. Yeah, I'm going to have to cheat. I'm going to have to put these back up here, and then move them again, which is... actually, they might stay there. We'll see. Yeah, because those two white boxes are with that. But I've got another box. If that box would fit on there, then we might get away with it, and then it's just a case of rehoming one more. Right, I'll keep you on top of the table, I'm going underneath. And this is going to get pushed through to get dragged back, which is not fun. Kind of stuck. So I was rendering and editing a file while this has been going on in the background, and it's finished, so I need to move. Ow. I need to move the laptop. I'll get that out of the way. Right, laptop moved onto the table that I'm trying to clear, standard. Right, so power unit out of the way. there. Alright, Disney Castle, side on in that gap. Thank you very much and please. That's all I want to happen. I don't want any drama. I don't want anything to fall over. I don't want anything to break. Oh dear. Everything's going to break. But that's the plan. That's what I want. Because you've also got the... You've got the Jurassic Park gates. I forgot about the Destiny's Bounty. That's going to have to go in front of the Ninjago. So I've moved that over as well. We are cooking with regards to things being finally in the correct places. Well, that went on a lot better than I thought, and I'm actually very, very surprised. I've got a bit of ceiling height to play with, which is fantastic, because obviously if that was spun facing forward, which is where it's going to be, you're going to have plenty of space around it, because it is, with the flag, well, it's actually a little bit taller than the Daily Bugle, but with the minifigure on, the minifigure's taller than the castle. So that's not too bad. And we have got these bits that go with the Disney Castle. Right, so we are moving on to the next bits. I have got 2 sets for Star Wars that has absolutely nothing to do with Hoth whatsoever, but because I need to get this stuff off the floor to get stuff down, I'm not going to put these on the floor. So rather than breaking them, they can just go up here safe, and then when it's time for our Disney Plus display, they are ready and will be rather good to go, he says. This thing, I'm not going to lie, it's fantastic with how it moves, but how you stand it up, it needs to be in a stand that way, but the wingspan on it is much bigger than what I thought it was going to be, so we'll, it's kind of crashed on the shelf, but it will do. So that is a crashed thing on the shelf. Oh, well, I can't believe we're actually getting somewhere. So the stuff that's on this table, the Bounty will move now, the boat. You have got no battery left whatsoever. No wonder, because I've been talking absolute nonsense. So plan is, boat moves, the stuff that's on the floor goes on that table, this table comes up, and then we're finished. Okay, so that yellow bit of card, I don't know if we're using it yet or not, so that is going with the shadow box, because we could have the bat symbol as yellow or we keep it as white. Either or works. Obviously we've got the Jurassic Park gates that we are now having a look at. But what I need is what is hiding behind the gates. So of course, it's a broken boat, which is really, really annoying, because it's something else that needs to be repaired. So these bits on this table, obviously I'm going to be making a display out of it, and we're going to have to be going from one side to the other. So I don't think the Jurassic Park gates are staying on this side. I think it will be a case of they'll go on the other, and then we'll just basically play tag with everything. But the amount of times that I move these things, and the worst thing is when they get put on the floor, the cats jump on them, I kick the see, stuff like that. I was about to say, I kick the bejesus out of them, and yeah, it's just not the funnest. But that is up, on, and around we go. So it should he says. If it wasn't broken, it will fit. Yeah. So obviously with it being broken, it's not as ideal as what I'd like it to be, but it's there. So that is what we can do. We can have the boat really in front of the docks, I guess. So if that was over on this side, then that is where the boat would go, wouldn't it? It'll go where that 32 by 32 is, I guess. If it, yeah, and there'd be the boat in front of that. So that gives us options then. That does give us options, right? So let's carry on with this. Get this back. Giveaway purchase for the gardens. I have just got bits and pieces over here. That is there. That is important because that is the head from the other part of the boat. And again, those pieces will be either underneath here, which is all getting tidy, or they're in the tubs. So they reckon that that boat is the best minifigure scale boat at the time for the Ninjago thing. And got to be honest, I've got to agree because it was very, 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 very good. That wingspan might as well go in last. So what we'll do is Hulk. So what have we got? Lord of the Rings character. I think, no. Oh, yes it is, because it's Team Redhead for Harry Potter, isn't it? And then Harry Potter, and Harry Potter. There we go. Because they've got, it's just the Weasley family, isn't it? So the whole family is, so there's, how many figures are there? There is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 9 so far. So I think they're there or thereabouts. Snow White accessory can go over on that bit, and that can go down there. All the minifigures forwards, and push those things back. That's the covers for my batteries when I go travelling. They're going to be handy. I've been looking for them for ages. Right, so A-frame cabin. So we've got to think now what we are going to be doing with the A-frame cabin, because I kind of feel like the A-frame cabin isn't really theme park-esque. It's more of a, well, I think it can be, but it needs to be used as some sort of theming. So I'll just put the roof back on for now. Yes, it's got a load of white on there because we tried to do something for a winter village display, and I think we can all be honest, didn't work. I have got all of the brown, all of those pieces in a bag, just there. And then we have got the other 32 by 32 that have been on the floor. So every time I've been crawling in the last few uploads underneath this table, I haven't got the full table width to crawl under because I've had these things in the way. So that is a gorgeous Lego Ideas set. Beautiful thing. It doesn't look right because it's not, because that roof is not on properly. That isn't on. Hang on. What is going on with that? It's embarrassing. It was going all so well. Have I knocked it or not? Just drop that though. Just drop that bit. Didn't want to do that. So that's the top bit of that. I'm sure that was a bit that goes forward. Yeah, no, it's just me being a melon. So that is that. The roof was on the right way because that just sits in on there. So I am thinking something watery, and then get the jaws set, I think. Potentially lighthouse. I would like to put my big turbine fan back. That would be quite nice, turbine fan, all that kind of thing with a load of water down there, because I have got that huge bladed fan, which does look, oh, to be fair, it is pretty cool, because that could go up on that table now, so that'd be safe and sound as well. And then it's just a case of that goes in front. That's the laptop, 1, 2, 3 spare pieces, and we've achieved what we set out to achieve, which isn't bad going, and hopefully it was less than under an hour, which is good because I've just done this in real time. I've just done this as quick as I possibly could, and yeah, because I know something has been delivered, and I know it's in quite a big box, so you're gonna have to keep your eyes peeled for the unboxing video of that, because it is a big block of cheese. That is all I'm saying, but it is now officially here, so that might be a case of doing a separate video for that unboxing. But I do want to get the head on that 8080 at some point, because obviously, well, it needs to go on because it looks a little bit daft. Looks a little bit daft without it, but it is there ready to go on. So guys, I think that is it, and I am done. Remember, this side now is ready for base plates and tiles. We will go over all the base plates that are down on the floor. Everything will get base plated, so it'll just be a case of slide them underneath. Then we can start tiling all the little bits and pieces, add all of the minifigures in from the Harry Potter, the D&D and everything else, and then we can make it sort of very, well, just nice, which will be good. And then obviously this is going to be now a nice project, because I want to extend this all the way down the table, and I want to get those fixed and repaired. So I am very tempted to say that I am actually going to, if I'm going to say it on camera now, I am going to repair the Ninjago before I actually start the block of cheese. I'm saying it, I'm calling it, I'm doing it, that is how it's going to work. So I could actually start potentially on this straight away and still not put the table back. Oh no, I need to clear the floor. Right, so again, one more time, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one.